Fallen Christmas trees were tall, we used to love while others used to play. Beautiful song by Jose Feliciano entitled The First of May. Now, what's that got to do with basketball? Absolutely nothing, except it is really the 1st of May. It's a beautiful day. It's Labor Day. It's a holiday, and it's a special day. And either by sheer coincidence or by design, the PBA has lined up something super special tonight by way of a treat for all you basketball fans. That's right, a treat with the power of a double-barrel 12-gauge shotgun. Listen to this. YCO Tanduay versus San Miguel in the first game, and Crispa versus Toyota in the main event. Well, here to lend his support systems by way of analysis and insights and color is my partner in crime, Steve Cantada. Hello, Steve.
Thank you, Joe. As always, it's a real pleasure to be in the PBA, especially with you as my co-panelist.
Now, we'll be right back after these opening salvo of commercials.
I didn't know we were going to go to a commercial even though the game was live. And they're still going to go to another commercial after 30 seconds?
Yes.
Ooh.
Tony, we're still going to the second set of commercials after the game story, no? Oh, sige, okay. Okay, we'll skip that. We'll skip that. Okay, the game between YCO Tanduay is now in progress. YCO Tanduay and San Miguel is now in progress. Quickly now, here's a backgrounder. San Miguel on top of the standings with a 9-1 win-loss slate is riding high on a 6-game winning streak, and it seems that they're getting better and stronger. They're up against a team which is currently tied with Gilby's in 4th position with an even 5-5 win-loss card. The Never Say Die YCO Tanduay Esquires, who are hell-bent on improving their record for their ticket to the quarterfinals. San Miguel won over YCO in their first encounter by just 5 points, 99-94, a match which was decided only in the last few seconds of the game. The big question is, how will YCO solve the gladiator Norman Black? How can they limit his point output and minimize his effectiveness off the boards? The answers are unfolding right now. Steve?
Well, Joe, as you said, tonight's a very important ball game, especially for YCO. An YCO victory tonight, coupled with a Toyota loss to Crispa in the second game, will leave YCO in a tie for 3rd place with Toyota.
Let's take a look at the lineups on the floor. Block, Miguel Bean, Obia, Stan, and Yap, and Murray, Bilbao, Gutierrez, Lazaro, and Sanchez.
Joe, another very big question. Is there going to be an emotional letdown on the San Miguel team? You know, in their last victory, a very impressive one against Crispa. They were up by 20 points. Crispa came back in a storm. The lead was cut down to 6, and San Miguel was able to stave off the rally. Is there going to be an ease up on the San Miguel Ball Club, or are they going to go out to kill?
Well, your guess is as good as mine, Steve. Anyway, the San Miguel Beermen are in the red shirts, or dark if you're watching this in black and white. The YCO Tanduay Esquires are in the white shirts with the red pipings. The score now is 7-6, or rather 8-6. YCO Tanduay up by 2.
You know, Joe, further to that question, I was able to speak to some of the San Miguel beermen, Ravanes and Ovias, and they told me that they held a practice. The team held practice on Wednesday, the day after their victory over Crispa. So I don't think they plan or unintentionally plan to take any game lightly. I think Tommy Minoto wants to keep the team going, riding high and practicing every given day.
Well, one thing is certain. San Miguel Beermen's morale is higher than it ever was before. Sanchez hitting 8 of San Miguel's, or rather YCO Tanduay's 10 points so far. They're still up by 2, 10-8. All 8 points of San Miguel have been scored by, guess who? Norman Black. Finally, somebody else from the San Miguel lineup put in a basket. That was Obias. And it's now 10-all. Broken by Sanchez for his 10th marker of the evening.
You know, YCO Tanduay, Joe, is a team that likes to run with the basketball. I don't know if they will be able to do that tonight. We'll see a beautiful steal by Gutierrez.
Let's see how he fares against Tan. A heartbreaker for YCO Tanduay. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to apologize for our delayed airing of this game. This is coming to you live, not delayed, actually. The reason for the delay was a huge rally staged here at the Araneta Coliseum earlier by certain labor groups in the celebration, of course, of Labor Day. Here's Mike Bilbao. He gets it right back. Sanchez now. Missed that time. Time left in the first period, 8:14. Yap is open. Intimidated by Sanchez, huh? That was Russell Murray.
Joe, as I was saying, Eco's would like to run the ball tonight, but I think they're going to have to concentrate on getting the defensive rebounds. They're going to have 5 men going to the defensive boards, not giving San Miguel a chance, an opportunity to take their second shot. San Miguel is not a great shooting ball club, but their ability to get 2 or 3 shots at the baskets gives them that 9-1 record.
Well, these two teams have 2 of the best imports in the present conference, but I notice they're not playing each other, Stephen.
Well, Joe, I don't think that... I think Russell Murray has to cover Norman Black this evening. I don't think YCO Tanduay has a ball player that can cover Norman Black. On the other hand, I think Black will... Black will not be covering Russell Murray. I think one of the local boys is going to be assigned to Russell Murray this evening. And that's going to be very dangerous for YCO Tanduay, because that's going to leave Norman Black free under the boards in case Russell Murray or any of the other YCO Tanduay ball players miss a shot. Norman's going to be under the boards, nobody there to bother him, and he'll set off that fast break.
Lazaro. And it's 16-12, a 4-point advantage for YCO Tanduay. YCO Tanduay is starting off very strongly. We've also got a great battle of wits on the bench. 2 of the young lions of Philippine basketball, Freddie Webb and Tommy Manotok. Beauty.
Miguel Bin, if he gets hot, he waited till the ball went into the backcourt before he retrieved it.
Here's Murray. Yes, sir.
Joe, doesn't it seem like Russell always hits when he's most heavily pressured?
It seems that way, so he's going to be heavily pressured tonight. So he will be coming up with his best performance, I expect, or BS. The inside pass to Tano. It was a beautiful pass.
That was a beautiful backdoor play, Joe.
That was an interception by Norman Black, and here is Obias, number 22, on his back. Jess Miguel Bin. And we have a held ball.
There we see Norman Black was not in position to get the rebound, but because of his height and jumping ability, he comes up with a jump ball.
And that big round of applause was meant to usher in Yo-Yo Martinez, easily the darling of the PBA crowd. And speaking of the crowd, there is close to 20,000 of them right now, and we expect it to grow bigger as the big game approaches between Crispa and Toyota. A block by Murray, and we have a foul. Foul number 1 on Russell Murray. 14 fouls for YCO, only 1 for San Miguel. 18-17 is the count. And now we have the 4th deadlock. Yes, it is.
Joe, it's important that San Miguel does not give YCO a chance or a taste of victory. They cannot afford to play YCO head up. We know that San Miguel likes to play as good as their opponent, just enough to win. But that might be the wrong philosophy this evening.
Well, tonight they'll probably have to play their hearts out. We have a timeout. All right, in case you've just joined us, 5:33 left in the first period. The score, 18-all. San Miguel in possession there. Norman Black again. 12 points now for Norman Black.
And he's shooting 75% from the floor, Joe, 6 for 8.
The other import, Russell Murray, has another for YCO Tanduay. Frankie Lim made his appearance during that intermission, and he just connected from 22 feet.
Well, you know, Frankie Lim is very important to this team. He missed a ball game against Gilby's that his team dropped. He came back in the next ball game and sparked the victory for them.
You know, Stephen, we're seeing some of the greatest backcourt men in action tonight. Mike Bilbao, Alex Tan, Yoyong Martinez, Frankie Lim, Lazaro firing and missing. Martinez losing it. There's a scramble for the loose leather. It's picked up by the Yoyong. Who else? Here's Tan now. Going up against Bilbao. Got it.
Well, Joe, you're definitely right. We have a mixture of age and youth in the backcourts of both teams.
Here's Frankie Lim, the guy they picked to be the heir apparent to Robert Jaworski, but that was Mike Bilbao, who just made a beautiful getaway and made it 22-22. Looks like it's going to be as tight as can be, Stephen.
Yes.
Alex Tan in the deep corner, followed by Frankie Lim. That's his first personal.
Well, as we were saying earlier, Joe, I'm sure YCO Tanduay is going to try to stay as close as possible to San Miguel. They don't want to give San Miguel that chance, that little bit of confidence that gets them rolling.
J.B. Yango has just reported for duty, and immediately Tommy Manotok responds by sending in Manny Paner.
Isn't Tommy unbelievable, Joe? He reacts so quickly to substitutions and to changing of men.
I suppose he's got everything figured out on the YCO Tanduay side. That was Mike Bilbao again.
4 points in a row for Mike.
And a 2-point lead for YCO Tanduay. Time left first quarter, 3:57. Again, the lineups are Murray, Bilbao, Lim, Lazaro, and Yango. On the other side, we have Black, Miguel Bin, Martinez, Tan, and Panera. Here's Black. Oh, that was a mismatch. They've got Lazaro on him. He's going to have a hard time containing Mr. Black.
Yeah, I think Russell will be on him very shortly.
Russell, in the meantime, is in the right quarter court, trying to figure out his move.
There we see a double
team, yes.
It's not a technical because he had the ball.
Bilbao almost with a wild pass. Lim recovers.
2 seconds. He had to take that shot. There was only 2 seconds on the 25-second clock.
And the score is still tied at 24. Corner shot breaks the deadlock. And it's a 2-point lead for the Beermen. Pan now with 6 points.
He's such a good shooter, especially when he's left open.
Frankie Lim, the overhead pass. Murray is fouled by Miguel Bin. Foul number 1 on Miguel Bin, timeout. Okay, Russell Murray sank both charities after that last foul by Miguel Bin. Only one, rather, and it's 26-25. San Miguel up by 1. There's a steal by YCO Tanduay. 2-on-1. And not even Black could stop that.
Well, Joe, we said before that YCO Tanduay might have a tough time fast breaking. That will be true. They will not be able to fast break off of the rebound, but certainly when they get that steal, they're going to be pushing the ball up.
Miguel Bin with a surprise hit off J.B. Yango. And we have a seesawing ball game now. It's San Miguel with the upper hand at 28-27. Unproductive play by YCO Tanduay, and a chance for San Miguel to get a more comfortable cushion. We have another substitution. Anthony Dasalia coming in for Alex Tan.
Well, Joe, YCO has been successful at not allowing San Miguel to take more than one shot, but unfortunately San Miguel has been hitting all of their shots, as exemplified by that one from the little man, Yo-Yo Martinez.
Martinez fooled everybody that time. Nobody even saw him passing by. And it's 30-27, 3-point lead for San Miguel, promptly cut down to only 1. Mike Bilbao has 8 points.
If he continues like this, Joe, that's 32.
That might be a record for Mike. Here is Manny Paner working off Murray and making it off Murray.
Joe, it seems that both teams are in very good condition, very good shape, and up for this game. Great shooting by both ball clubs.
Well, they know millions are watching out there on television, aside from the 20-odd thousand. Seeing this in the flesh right here at the Araneta Coliseum, it's 32-31. Neither team has pulled away by more than 3 points. Here's Jess Miguel Bin working against Yango again. Black, turnaround. Terrific shooting percentage by Norman Black.
Shooting about 80% now.
And that's a 16th point. 34-31, 3-point lead for the red shirts. A save, but a steal by Martinez. All the way by Yoyong. a 5-point advantage for San Miguel Bears. 36-31. Referee holds play. That's foul number 1 on Yoyong. We've got 47 seconds left in the first period. The lineups once again: Black, Ravanes, Martires, Dasalia, and Paner. That's for San Miguel. Here is Frankie Lim for YCO Tanduay. JV Yango. Balbao is open. He tried a three-pointer. He pushed his luck too far. 30 seconds left. Contact whistle. Foul number 2 on Mike Bilbao. Referees for this match, by the way, are Mr. Victorino, Mr. Iñosa, and Mr. Mateo. Another substitution. Gutierrez coming in for Lazaro. For Bilbao, correction, please. Here is Panera. Again, off Murray. This time, Murray forced a traveling error on him. 24 seconds left. San Miguel up by 5. 36-31. Gutierrez inside the lane. Double team. Martires again, the Sultan of Swipe. Fouled by Eli Capaccio.
Well, that was a good foul by Eli because Martires was ready to start that fast break. He had his teammates up court. Eli tried to go for the ball, committed a foul.
Okay, here is the Matt and Jeff tandem of the backcourt. Martires and Norman Black. Picked up high by Eli Capaccio and Frankie Lim, respectively. Black still working his way close to the basket and got it.
Oh, he's on fire.
And that's the end of the first period. We'll be right back. And we have a mad scramble for the leather. Held ball.
Joe, it seems that Norman Black has been able to get the ball wherever and whenever he wants it. It's going to be very tough for YCO Tanduay to deny him the basketball. They must start concentrating on Norman Black.
Capaccio versus Paner. Black wins it. Ravanes gives it back to Black. Black rather indecisive. He sags out. Okay, fellas, spread out. Let's give me some room. Okay, he makes his move and bumps into Eli. Fouled by Eli.
Well, Joe, Norman Black's normal position is guard. He's playing that this evening. He feels very comfortable there. There we could see some hot shooting by both ball clubs. 64% for YCO and 67% for San Miguel. That means they're making about 2 out of 3 with every shot they take.
Martires nearly pulled the rug from everybody's feet again, but he failed. Murray, yes.
It's important for Russell Murray to get hot. He's got to lift up his team. When his players see him start hitting those jump shots, it picks them up as well.
5-point spread for San Miguel, 38-33, 10-18 left in the first half. Here's Manny Paner. Covered by Murray. Got it off Murray. 40-33, another 7-point lead for San Miguel. San Miguel with a 9-win, 1-loss slate. Their only loss coming at the hands of the Toyota Super Corollas, who in turn were beaten by YCO Tanduay.
Shows the parity in the league this year, Joe.
Again, the backcourt tandem of Martires and Black. Here is Manny Paner in the right quarter court. Murray watching him. Black gets a screen from Dasalia and Martires and misses the shot. Maybe he feels more comfortable shooting when there's nobody screening him. Here's the Kamikaze Kid, as per Pingoy Bengtson.
Well, you know, he had a very good game, Joe. Marquez had an excellent game in his last outing. He scored 13 points, made a couple of steals, and pushed the ball up. A lot of assists off the fast break.
JV Yango gives it back to Mananzala, provides a scheme for Mananzala, and Mr. Mananzala just got his first basket. He's a streak shooter too, another guy to watch. 40-35, San Miguel lead down to 5. Yoyong Martires. A sharp pass inside to Dasalia. It drew a foul from Yango. First personal on Yango. That's 14 fouls now for YCO Tanduay against nothing for San Miguel.
You know, Joe, we're seeing 2 very good defensive ball clubs on the court at the same time. Could it be that when 2 good defensive ball clubs get together, there's a chance that it's a high-scoring ball game. No fouling, clean play. It's very interesting. Two good defensive ball clubs, both shooting very well from the floor, and a very high-scoring ball game.
Logically, you would expect a very low-scoring ball game. Marquez gets away from Martinez. Mananzala. Yes, that was set up for him by Marquez.
Well, Marquez loves to do that. Drive to the middle, draw 2-3 men to him, and pass off to the side.
They're going to Mananzala because they know he's got the hot hand now, and we have a physical collision there. Capaccio was the culprit. That's his third personal. And 5 team fouls for YCO Tanduay.
Here we see the rebounding. San Miguel, slight edge. There hasn't been too many missed shots.
Marquez taking the ball from block like candy from a baby, and it's a goaltending violation by Norman Black. Let's take a look at that again.
Let's take a look at this, Joe. We could see that Norman Black had the hand, the ball, and the backboard simultaneously, thereby constituting illegal goaltending.
All 3 elements required for illegal goaltending. 8:42 left, a 3-point lead for San Miguel Beer, and it looks like YCO Tanduay is staging an uprising, cutting down a 7-point lead to only 3, possibly by 1 if they can make this play productive. Here's Mananzala. Didn't get it this time. Yango, likewise. Black finally pulls it down for San Miguel. Temporary squelcher for YCO Tanduay. 8:27 in the first half. Yoyong Martinez playing court general. The inside pass to Ravanes. He's double-teamed. Paner saves it. Gives it back to Ravanes, and he loses it to the baseline. Last touch by San Miguel. Yoyong Martinez has just been replaced by Marty Saldana.
You know, Joe, we said that Ravanes was one of the most underrated players in the league. We've talked about him so much, he's now rated. Let's talk about Marty Saldana.
He's still underrated.
As our up-and-coming underrated player in the PBA this year.
Okay, before long, he's going to be a contender, too. Look at that.
You know, he's a real story. He had a broken leg 2 times, came back from both those injuries. He has a lot of determination behind him, and he doesn't easily give up. He had to fight his way onto the ball club, and he's been coming through with some big plays. He's going to be the replacement for Martinez in the up-and-coming years.
I would imagine as much. Stephen, he's as much of a human dynamo as Martinez.
Well, he's got a good teacher in Yoyong.
44-41. They're doing great both from the foul line as well as from the field. 7:52 left in the first half. Baseline drive, line pass to Desalia, who's open, got it.
Joe, let's keep an eye on Manny Paner. He looks to be very sharp this evening. He's setting beautiful picks, and he's driving to the hoop.
Unusually sharp, yes. Murray looking unusually unsharp. Twice in a row.
Well, unusually unsharp or dull.
Well, we're just giving our critics some fodder for the poison pens. 46-41 is the count. Here is Ravanes. Saldana streaking home. Referee says hold it. Fouled by Marquez.
Well, Russell's having a rough time on offense because when he beats his man, the San Miguel Brewers are picking him up. Norman Black is putting a hand in his face, and they're not giving Russell an easy time at it.
Here is Marquez, number 8 on his back. Got it!
He was in control at every moment on that shot. He knew exactly what he was going to do.
Taking a look at the lineups again. Murray, Mananzala, Marquez, Sanchez, and Yango for YCO Tanduay. Black, Ravanes, Saldana, Desalia, and Paner for San Miguel. Anthony Desalia losing the ball to the baseline.
Joe, YCO's doing a much finer job now, keeping the ball away from Norman Black.
Here's J.V. Yango. Hey, take note of this. So far, San Miguel has not chucked up a single team foul in the second period. It took Murray 2 follow-ups before he got that bucket. 46-45. Here's something to note, too. Stephen Black was completely controlled in the second quarter, at least so far.
Yes, as we were mentioning, Joe, they've been denying him the basketball. You know, if Norman can't get the ball, obviously he can't score, and they've not been allowing him to tip the ball in either.
Here's the Kamikaze kid giving it to J.V. Yango. A trifle strong. Manipane racing down court. Saldana against Mananzala. Ravanes.
And they're going to count the hoop, Joe. I wonder if we can get that on the slow motion.
That was a great razzle-dazzle play by... We have a timeout. Okay, you're watching a slow-mo replay of that last beautiful play by San Miguel. And here's Ravanes completing his triple.
Well, Saldana made that beautiful pass to Ravanes, cutting under the basket.
49-45, time left in the first half, 5:48. Another unproductive play by YCO Tanduay. Saldana didn't get that ball. Instead, it went to the hands of Mananzala. YCO Tanduay on the offensive now. He's open. You don't leave him open. 49-47, just a basket separating the two clubs. By the way, Zaldi Latosa is also on the floor now for YCO Tanduay.
Joe, we see Russell Murray picking up Norman Black.
This is going to be a titanic clash here. The two imports.
Well, Murray's got to be careful of his fouls. He can't afford to foul out for the YCO Tanduay ball club.
That was Zaldi Latosa. And it's 49-all. 17 fouls already for YCO Tanduay. They're over the limit. That means every foul by them will incur the penalty of 2 free throws from here on in. Ravanes is being replaced by Tommy Manotok.
I think he's looking for some outside shooting. And also Miguel Bin will be picking up on Russell Murray.
Here's Sanchez, number 50 on his jersey. Murray now working his way inside the lane, runs into heavy traffic and draws a foul. Jess Miguel Bin collecting his second personal off Murray, and Murray goes to the line hoping to give YCO Tanduay a taste of the lead. That 49-all count was the 11th deadlock, by the way, but it's no longer existent because
he might hit this shot.
Yes.
Okay. You know, that's exactly what we mean, Joe. They've been double-teaming Russell Murray when he gets the ball down low. YCO Tanduay cannot afford to double-team Norman Black. However, San Miguel is going to try to key on Russell Murray.
Here's Black. He still has to score in the second quarter. Still hasn't scored. Murray going against Black. Let's see. Yes, sir. Black was a mile away from him, so he couldn't have done anything about that. Here's Norman Black. The imports playing each other now. Very tight switching defense by YCO Tanduay. Here's Marty Saldana. The inside pass goes to the wrong man. Here's Latosa dashing down court. Gives it to Marquez. Paner for the rebound. Russell Murray was hoping for a traveling error. No, says the referee, it's a foul. That's Marquez's third foul.
Manny Panera has been very tough under the boards. He's been going up against guys 3, 4, 5 inches taller than himself, and he's coming down with the rebound. Only because he's able to attain good position under the basket. Not because of his jumping ability, not because of his height.
Manny Panera, both knees heavily bandaged, made it 52-50. An even basket separating the two clubs as we go into the last 4 minutes of the game. To be exact, 3:51 left. First half action. Murray.
Beautiful rebound by Panera and a nice outlet pass.
Pan. Trying to elude Marquez. Gives it to Black, and that was his first basket for the second quarter. 52-all. 12th deadlock of the game. Time left, 3:26. Sanchez working the left quarter court against Paner. Paner swiping beautifully. Give and go. Look at that, a heartbreaker. Russell Murray. Marquez banks it out. Red ball, says the referee.
Joe, the only question, we know that Norman Black likes to play the guard position, but tonight he's been handling the ball in an excessive amount of time. Can he keep up that pace, or is he going to get tired? That remains to be seen in the last few minutes of the ball game.
Well, one thing sure, he's worked up a pretty good sweat up to this point.
Well, you know, he plays that type of game, Joe.
And we expect about 25,000 by the time the Crispa Toyota game gets underway. Saldana on the line.
You know, Joe, whenever you see the rebounding is close, you can always be sure that the point totals, the score in the game will be just as close. So far, YCO Tanduay with 19 rebounds, San Miguel with 20. Close game, close in reboundings as well as score.
And I figure it's going to be close all the way. 2:41 left in the first half. Unproductive play by YCO Tanduay. Here's Alex Tan.
Beautiful fadeaway shot by Saldana over the outstretched arm of Russell Murray.
And a three-point lead for the Beermen. 55-52. Let's see what YCO Tanduay can come up with. Manansala with a rather hasty shot. Manny Paner dashing down court. Galloping might be more the word for it. And Marty Saldana for his second layup in a row.
Well, Paner is playing like a man that's possessed. He's getting the rebounds. He's even starting the fast break.
Looks like he's got a demon on his back tonight. A 57-52 5-point lead for San Miguel. An abortive steal. From the corner, Manansala, Jimmy, connecting from one of his favorite angles anyway. That's 8 points for him. 57-54, 3-point lead. San Miguel, a minute 39 left in the first half. Black gets the pass from Saldana. Fires on a screen by Paner, overshooting. A rebound to Murray.
Well, let's see what they're going to do now, Joe, because Russell Murray's been double-teamed. His teammates are shooting well. I think Russell should start driving to the basket and passing to some of his players.
Mike Bilbao feeds it to Manansala, who once again connects.
That's what we mean, Joe. The YCO Tanduay locals have been shooting very well when they're left open. If Russell draws that double team, he should look to his teammates that are open.
10 points for Jimmy Manansala now, and there's no telling how long that streak is going to last. 1:01 left. First half, 57-56, a 1-point game in our hands, and we have a foul. Looks like Murray just collected his second foul. Black. Eli Capaccio will have to replace Murray.
Well, that's the danger of having Russell Murray cover Norman Black. Norman Black gets the ball most of the time for the San Miguel team. He likes to drive to the basket, and anybody that covers him is going to commit 4, 5, or 6 fouls if they're playing good defense.
Impeccable touch from the 15-foot line by Norman Black. Makes it 59-56 with 52 seconds left in the first half. Paner saves it. Here's Marty Saldana crossing the midcourt line. Tan is open. Oh, puny shot. They keep it, however. And this time, Saldana draws a foul from J.V. Yango.
You know, I don't think Alex was taking a shot on that one, Joe. He was looking for a cutter to come down the lane. And unfortunately, nobody materialized in the shot. It was a half pass, half shot. It's like being half pregnant.
There's such a thing.
There's no such thing.
All right, we have a substitution. Ravanes Black is being given a rest. Well, Tommy Monoco can very well afford to do that with Murray also on the bench. Miguel Bin. Yes.
Beautiful shot.
62-56. Time left in the first half. 28 seconds. San Miguel up by 6 points. They're protecting a 9-1 slate. The league's best so far. Jimmy Manansala again.
Keep going to that man. He's got the hot hand.
He's burning. That's 12 points for Jimmy. 11 seconds to go. Alex will have to look at the clock. 8 seconds. Marty Saldana. They'll have to put it up soon enough. Here's Saldana. Yes! end of the first 24 minutes of sizzling action, we find San Miguel Beer up by 6 points, 64-58. We'll have the breakdown, we'll have some insights, and we'll have some color right after this. Can they limit his point output and minimize his effectiveness off the boards? Well, they have been able to limit his output, at least in the second quarter, mainly through the efforts of Russell Murray and Eli Capaccio. They held him down to only 4 points. So 18 of those points you see on your screens were turned in the first quarter. Saldana comes in second with 10. Alex Tan contributed 6. Likewise, Miguel Bin 6. 5 points coming from Manny Paner, playing the game of his life tonight. Anthony Dazalia 4. Likewise 4 from Yoyong Martires, 3 from Rabanes, and 2 points apiece from Obias and Yap. The game is in progress. YCO Tanduay drawing first blood in the second half.
Well, Russell's going to look to shoot the ball very quickly. He's not going to allow San Miguel a chance to double team him.
64-60 is the count, a 4-point lead for the Beermen, but they're on the attack. There's the love pass to Black. Tan firing off Bilbao. Trifle short. There's a long outlet pass to Bilbao. Is he going to go for it? Yes, he will. And he didn't get it. Yango keeping it for YCO Tanduay, but losing it. Tan now. He lays up. Got intimidated somehow by the presence of Murray there. Latosa, number 10 on his shirt. Okay, Murray says, settle down, fellas. We're going to do this nice and easy. And that's what he meant. Yango with a follow-up. Okay, YCO Tanduay coming to within a basket once again of San Miguel Beer, 64-62. Well, more than 20,000 now here at the Big Dome.
YCO's going to definitely try to play a tougher defense, Joe. They're going to try to get their hands up on every single shot, especially on that one. Russell Murray playing good defense, not committing a foul.
And thereby lies the story of Norman Black's mediocre performance in the second quarter. That was Yango.
Well, Yango's an important ball player for this team. If he could bring Norman Black away from the basket by hitting outside shots, Norman will not be able to clear the defensive boards for his team.
64 all, the 13th stalemate of the game. Powerful rebound by Jimmy Mananzala. Here's Murray now going up against Black. They've got a second chance. Latosa bungles it and makes good on his second.
Joe, I know it's only the start of the second half, but Norman Black looks like he's a little bit tired. He did not fight for that rebound. He might be running out of gas sooner than we thought.
66-64. YCO Tanduay up by 2 after staging an uphill climb with a deficit of 7 points in the second quarter. Miguel Bin. Finally, Murray for the White Shirts. 9:32 left, third period. Mananzala gives it to Bilbao. Latosa gets away from Lobo.
Finger roll.
Black's reflexes are not too sharp tonight. He could have stopped that if he had jumped a fraction of a second sooner. 9:12 left, 68-64, 4-point lead for the Esquires. Tan. Ooh.
Well, Joe, it's important that the San Miguel locals pick up on the scoring slack because as we've observed, Norman Black is a little bit tired. His shot is off. His reflexes are a little bit slower. He did a lot of different things in the first half, and it might cost him here in the second half.
Here's Murray making hail while the sun shines. And by the sun shining, we mean Black sort of coasting.
Well, Miguel Bin playing great defense on Russell Murray.
Russell Murray, last year's most valuable import, is on the line against Norman Black. Look at that. All right, we have a very obvious foul there by Jess Miguel Bin. That's his third personal, sending J.B. Young to the stripe.
That could be dangerous. 3 fouls on Miguel Bin. He's been playing very well on defense. He's been stopping Russell Murray, so he's got to be careful. He cannot afford to commit a silly foul.
69-66.
Points early in the second half.
Bilbao and Martires playing each other, and that was Bilbao this time committing a foul on Martires. That's a third foul on Mike Bilbao. He tried to do a Martinez on that one. Martinez trying to swipe from behind. Except that Bilbao was not half as successful as Martinez normally is at that kind of a trick. Here's Yoyoung inbounding for the red shirts.
It's very difficult to beat somebody at their own game, Joe.
Murray, by the way, has 3 fouls. Okay. The red shirts will keep possession. 70-66. Let's take a look at the lineups. Murray, Manansala, Bilbao, Yango, and Latoza. Here's Lobo. It's counted. With a foul going against Yango, a triple coming up. Third foul on Yango.
Joe, with Russell Murray covering Norman Black and Black staying that far away from the basket, the San Miguel Brewers, they should be looking to drive to the basket. They have the height advantage in the local department, and they can go to the hoop. They know that Russell Murray's not there to intimidate them.
Earlier you saw Freddie Webb on your screen setting the floor. This is a very important game for him. Murray. Oh, that was a very bad pass. And Manansala, in an effort to retrieve the lost leather, commits a foul on Alex Tan. First personal on Jimmy. 4 team fouls now for YCO Tanduay against only 1 by San Miguel. Yes, Miguel Bin. YCO Tanduay up by only 1. No longer. And we have the 14th deadlock at 70-all with this timeout. Going a very, very precarious 1-point lead. Traveling, says the referee, and we have a turnover.
I think galloping would have been a better word for that one.
Okay, backcourt tandem for YCO Tanduay, Jimmy Manansala, and Mike Bilbao. He's met there by Martinez. Latoza fires off Lobo. The follow-up by Murray. Murray, very effective off the boards. Outshining Norman Black there.
Yes, Joe, in the last 10 minutes, Russell Murray has been definitely outplaying Norman Black.
74-71, 3-point lead for the Esquires. Jess Miguel Bin gives it to Black. Black going against Murray. Foul number 4 on Mr. Murray.
Joe, Miguel Bin, the only player in the PBA that plays ball and chews gum at the same time.
That's a very interesting observation, Stephen. Okay, 16 fouls now for YCO Tanduay. 74-72. Esquires up by only a basket. They're on their own offensive thrust now. Here's Murray. He's nursing 4 fouls. He better be careful. Let's see what gives here. Jess Miguel Bin collects his 4th foul off Murray, who himself has 4 fouls. 6:23 left in the 3rd period. Jimmy Manansala. Murray making his move against Miguel Bin. Short. They keep it. Latoza. Again Murray. That's only the first foul for Norman Black. Look at this one. I think that was a karate chop that accidentally got to the beard of Murray. Manansala has it. Inside, Alex Tada.
You know, you see Manansala, he's very itching to shoot tonight. He knows he has a hot hand. Perhaps his teammates should start setting picks for him and isolate the ball, getting him free for his jump shot.
2 big guys coming in for Tommy Manotok. Pulling out. 1 big guy and 1 small guy. Miguel Bin and Tan to the bench. And in their places, we have Paner and Anthony Dasalia. Bilbao gets a beautiful feed from Latoza. 76-72, 4-point lead for the Esquires. Are you surprised that the Esquires are ahead? Don't be. These are the guys who beat the Toyota Super Corollas, who were the only team ever to beat the San Miguel Beermen. short. He picks it up. Is he going to try again? Controls the ball. Norman Black now. Guarded by Mike Bilbao. Look at him making mincemeat of Mike and forcing Mike to a foul.
Well, that was a heady play by Mike. He knew he was clearly mismatched against Norman Black, so he went for the steal, and he picked up the foul. Norman would have put in 2 points anyway.
Well, that was a very costly foul. That was his fourth, forcing the hand of Freddie Webb, sending Frankie Lim back and pulling Bilbao to the bench.
Well, Mike always plays as if he doesn't have any fouls, Joe. He just wants to play, and if he has to do it, he knows there's somebody on the bench that can come in and replace him.
And the 17 foul lamp has just lit up for YCO Tanduay. That means they're over the limit. Here's Murray in the corner. Mananzala was left open again. You don't leave this guy open. And Martirez did not think of that soon enough.
Well, they should keep going to him. Try to isolate him. Let him come off of a pick.
78-72, 6-point lead for the Esquires. Martirez. Oh, he was harassed there. Look at this race for the leather. 3-on-2. Mananzala, very unselfish of him, but maybe he should have taken the shot himself.
Oh, very unselfish play on the part of the whole team. We can see here that Mananzala got the pass from Yango over to Frankie Lim. That's the whole spirit on this ball club, Joe. If I can't do it, I'll let somebody else try. If somebody else is closer to the basket, they have a better percentage shot.
We have a timeout by Tommy Manoto. Salia and Lobo for San Miguel Beer. Latosa. Okay, you've got the matchup there on your screens between the two imports. Steve?
Well, Norman Black, he had 18 points in the first quarter. He's cooled down tremendously, and he's been neutralized off the boards, which is the key department. Rebounding is even between the two imports. The total rebounding, YCO Tanduay is ahead 35-31, and they have the lead.
Anthony DeSalia just made it 79-74. Cutting down the YCO Tanduay lead to only 5. Frankie Lim working the ball to Mananzala. Got it again. This guy is unstoppable when he hits a streak. That's 16 points now for Jimmy.
Joe, we see a full court press being applied by YCO Tanduay. They're going to try to get some steals. The only guy on San Miguel that could really bring up the ball at this point is Martirez.
Referee holds play. Zaldi Latosa collecting his third personal.
Let's see how Tommy Manotoc reacts to the YCO Tanduay full court press. I think he will dispatch one of his quicker guards into the game. Maybe a guy like maybe Marty Saldana or Ravanes. Put them into the game because those guys could bring up the ball along with Yoyong Martirez.
Anthony DeSalia bungling both charities. Mananzala getting the ball. Interesting to note, DeSalia and Mananzala both played for the same youth team that won the 1978 Youth Championship for the Philippines in Kuwait. 81-74 is the count. 7-point lead for the Esquires. We just had an overhauling in the lineups on the floor. Let's watch this. Lazaro with a clean block by Panera, but DeSalia stepped on the baseline, so YCO Tanduay will keep it.
We could see YCO runs a basic patterns on offense. Man comes across, sets a pick, his offensive teammate cuts off, and is free open the basket. Basic basketball, very effective.
Here's Mananzala cutting inside. Yes. Wow. This guy has a wide repertoire of shots. He can shoot from the outside, and he can also dance in. 82-74, 8-point lead for YCO Tanduay.
Here we see Ravanes in the ball game now.
Yoyong Martirez picked up by Frankie Lim. Norman Black now. Handcuffed there by Murray. But Yoyong got away again. Slippery as a snake was just taking a bath. 83-76, 7-point lead for YCO Tanduay. 3:16 left in the third period. Frankie Lim directing the operation. Yoyong Martirez watching him from about 5 feet. Here's Jimmy Mananzala against Ravanes. Good coverage there by Ravanes. Martinez now. Frankie Lim, look at him. Very vigorous young man. Martinez. Yes! He got his bucket. 8 points now for the Sultan of Swipe. 5 team fouls so far for San Miguel, and YCO Tanduay is already in penalty trouble. Murray going against Dazalia. Ravanes commits the foul.
You know, 5-point lead for YCO. Chance to go up by 7 with these 2 foul shots from Murray. For San Miguel, Norman Black has only scored 3 points in this quarter. And they usually count on him for about 50% of their point production. Let's see what's stopping Norman Black from getting the ball, getting the rebounds, and scoring those points.
Here's Martinez trying to shake off Frankie Lim. Now Norman Black, he gets a pick from Dazalia, but misses anyway. The rebound to J.D. Yango. Lim pushing it up. Mananzala. Oh. Lazaro. I don't know whose fault that was.
Russell Murray has 4 personal fouls. I think Norman Black has to try to take him down low. Get Russell to commit his 5th foul, and then one of the locals will have to pick up on Norman Black.
Norman Black trying again against Murray. Missed. He got in a second time.
Well, Russell played very smart on that one. He knew Norman had the shot, and he wasn't going to commit a silly foul.
And the Esquires lead is down to 5. Here's Murray working against a double team, and the double team worked. Martinez to Ravanes. Ravanes against Frankie Lim. Looking for a cutter. Paner. Yo-Yo. Moving around the perimeter. Here is Black. The double team proved futile against that one. 85-82. YCO Tanduay lead down to 3. Russell Murray against Dazalia. Lim is open, and he took advantage of it.
Frankie's such a good ball player, directing traffic for his team, but when he's left open, he'll always take the shot. He loves that top of the key shot.
A minute and 6 seconds left in the 3rd period. YCO Tanduay by 5. Norman Black. Ball almost stolen from behind by Murray. J.B. Younger for the rebound, gives it to Lim. And here come the Esquires once again, galloping down court. A near steal. Recovery by Mananzala. Here is Lazaro. Foul from behind by Martinez.